This episode is brought to you by Indeed. You're ready to move your business forward, but first, you need to find the right team. Start your search with Indeed-sponsored jobs. It can help you reach qualified candidates fast, ensuring your listing is the first one they see. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs are 90% more likely to report a hire than non-sponsored jobs. See the results for yourself. Get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Every who down in Who Newville liked the holidays a ton, but where to get great prices on gifts they had no idea. None. They searched and they searched for great gifts under $25. Gifts for spouses and friends and even their toddlers. When suddenly one who shouted, Walmart has what you want, knowing they have Lego, Tree Hut, and no prices to flaunt. So they enjoy the holiday season as Who's often do. Cheering and shouting, Walmart has incredible gifts. Who knew? Find gifts they'll love under $25 at Walmart.
Oh, Hilton stay, oh, Hilton stay. Your beds are soft and cozy. No lumpy couch, no stiff futon, no shower line at crack of dawn. Oh, Hilton stay, oh, Hilton stay.
When you want holiday comfort you can count on, it matters where you stay. Enjoy comfortable rooms and friendly service when you stay with Hilton instead. Save up to 25% this season when you book with Hilton. Hilton for the stay. Terms apply.
Hey, Fidelity. What's it cost to invest with the Fidelity app?
Start with as little as $1 with no account fees or trade commissions on U.S. stocks and ETFs.
That's music to my ears.
I can only talk.
Investing involves risk, including risk of loss. Zero account fees apply to retail brokerage accounts only. Sell order assessment fee not included. A limited number of ETFs are subject to a transaction-based service fee of $100. See full list at fidelity.com/commissions. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
Welcome back to Skating Penguin Network, everyone. It is your host, Robbie, here again. It is the evening. It is December 1st. We are into the last month of 2025. Crazy as that sounds, that is where we are. The Penguins just wrapped up a game against the Philadelphia Flyers out in the city of brotherly love. But before we dive into that, we have a couple games to talk about on the slate this evening. It's been a little while since we touched base, but before we do that, we have to welcome in Snail, who, as always, is out in Seattle. Snail, how are things out there right now? We are bracing for our first winter storm of the season here in Pennsylvania. How are things out in the Pacific Northwest?
Cold, man. Not like it is out east, but it feels the other day, when it gets cold, you can almost can you smell snow? You can kind of smell that, the air has that crispiness to it where you're like, yeah, it smells like it's going to snow. So that's kind of where we're at. Yeah, man, when you say December 1st, I kind of forget, I didn't even notice that, but it felt like it was 3 weeks ago. We were talking about fall coming up and we were so ready for, remember you guys went through an early fall in August or something like that. It felt like 3 weeks ago. That's where we were at. But all of a sudden, we're 25 days away from Christmas. It's pretty wild, man. This year is just a ticking away.
It is going quick. It's going quick.
I also am kind of curious, why do they call it the city of brotherly love, considering Philadelphia has such a reputation of being kind of a gritty city, kind of a, I guess just from a sports, I think of Philadelphia Eagles fans. I think of the Broad Street Bullies. I think of the Flyers. I know that we got some games to get to before this, but you say brotherly love. I think of Philadelphia. Didn't they throw batteries at Santa Claus?
Yeah, they've thrown batteries at Santa Claus. They've thrown snowballs at Santa Claus. They booed Santa Claus. But I will say they've booed a lot of figures in their time, including the captain of the Pittsburgh Penguins. And we'll get into that a little bit, but that is one that has not worked out well in their favor, I would say. But I as you asked that question, I did look up why they call it the city of brotherly love. It's because the name literally it translates from Greek. Philos means love. Adelphos means brother. So the actual name Philadelphia means basically brotherly love. That is what the actual name means. Okay. That is the name that William Penn, the founder of the city and Pennsylvania, he chose to name it that. Yeah, the Quakers were a bit different than the people that occupy the city now, but
to say the least.
yeah, so that's where the name comes from. It is derived from the two different Greek words smashed together. But yeah, you're not wrong about they don't exactly exemplify the name of the city when you think about it. It is a very gritty, hence their mascot being
Literally
nicknamed.
gritty.
Yeah, gritty is much more a symbol of today's Philadelphia than the nickname of the city.
William Penn's Philadelphia.
Yeah, William Penn's Philadelphia for certain. But yeah, so that's where that comes from. Little fact in there for the listeners. But before we get into any of the games, there's a very important topic we have to talk about, Snail, and I think you know what it is. We got to recap Thanksgiving.
Yeah, for sure, man.
On our two ends here, because we spent a good chunk of the last episode we recorded discussing Thanksgiving, so we might as well just jump into it. We exchanged some pictures. Snail, you I believe said you had 3 plates of Thanksgiving feast.
What time was that? I don't remember what time I sent the text, but it was probably that might have been around midnight, half past midnight.
You sent that it was 3:23 my time.
Okay, so yeah,
about 20 past midnight Snail's time. He says, "I have 12:22 and I have gone back for thirds."
That's right.
You did send me a picture. Is the guy at the end of your table your dad?
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks exactly like you. Yeah, he looks exactly like you.
That's my father, yeah.
But no, Snail had a heaping, well, at least more than one heaping plate of Thanksgiving food. I had 2 plates and then leftovers the next day, which it's just as good as I love Thanksgiving leftovers.
Robbie, your spread looked like it was taken out. It looked like a photo out of like Home Magazine or something like that. Like it was that was a well curated like spread. Like I'm sure it wasn't all you. Like I would imagine like your family kind of placed that. You know, I mean, if it was, it's not like I doubt your ability to stage like a nice photo. No, I'm not saying you have that.
Yeah.
But I was like, that is like, I mean, what a sight to behold to come into on Thanksgiving. Do you host it or do you have it at a family's house, family members?
My grandmother for years has hosted it. There's one year that she could not host it because of health issues. So that went to my mom to host, but no, as long as my grandma can, she said she wants to host it. And that's what we did this year. As always, we had 20 people at our, it's a lot. It was, and her house is an old, they actually expanded it when my mom was younger. It used to be much smaller. It is just a 1-level ranch style house. 1 bathroom, well, 2 they added a bathroom, but like when the house was originally built, 1 bathroom. It's really just, the kitchen is smallish. It's not very big. We have tables diagonal and we don't really have any kids anymore. Most of our, like, I think we do have like a young cousin who is just 2 years old, but like other than that, the youngest is like a senior in high school, like 18 years old. So like we don't have
kids table.
We don't have the quote unquote kids table anymore. We've all aged out of that. We just have kind of pick a seat, sit down and eat, enjoy food.
Elbows up.
It was out. Yeah, it's well, you don't have much room for elbows up. You got to be pretty much elbows close to the chest when you have 20 people.
Head on a swivel.
Yeah, head on. Yeah. You got to just keep everything moving. You get a plate, you take what you want, you pass it. Take what you want, you pass it.
Keep it
delay,
moving.
No delay of games here. We don't have time for that.
Nope.
But yeah, no fists were thrown. No beef, which was the good thing in the end. But no, a lot of food, good times, football, parade. I was up at 6 a.m. cooking turkey.
Wow.
So, yeah,
because turkey, that's like a slow process. It's not like
you get it in. It takes about there is a rule like however many so much time for however many pounds it is or per pound or something.
There's an
like
algorithm for turkey cooking.
Some year, like I would like to deep fry one. Some year, I just have nobody else that wants to partake in that with me.
But John Madden, was that his thing?
Well, I mean, a lot of people do it. He was more of a turducken.
The turducken was what he did, which is insane.
Which is insane in itself. But I do want to deep fry turkey one year. But no, I had a great time. It was a great day, long day. But no, I mean, we hyped it up last week. on our episode, and it definitely my end it lived up to the hype. It was a well planned out meal, a well fed meal, and everybody went home happy.
So, do you still have leftovers in your fridge, or have those been deleted?
Those were deleted within like 2 days.
So we hosted it at our place this year for the first time ever. Usually it's my grandma. Then COVID happened, and then our family kind of split off into like smaller factions. And so this was the first year, we kind of put our hand up to host this year. And yeah, man, I got a last minute text from my sister and my mother saying that they bailed on making any sort of potato dish. There was going to be scalloped potatoes.
Ooh.
So fortunately, I thought ahead and I bought 4 pounds of potatoes. I made 4 pounds of mashed potatoes, and I tried to give away as much as I could. Yeah, it was like trying to hand around like a toddler that bowl.
How many people were at your specific dinner?
Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 only came to ours.
That's like 3/4 of a pound of potatoes a person. That's a lot of like. Yeah, like the roll is like maybe a potato and like a potato and a half, not like a half, not like 3/4 of a pound of potato. That's a lot of potatoes. That's a lot of potatoes. So yeah, I'm sure that you were trying to like sling that out the door afterwards. You've been eating potatoes for like through the new year.
Yeah. So yeah, man. So like that was my point. Was like we hosted and I made the stuffing, the gravy, the potatoes, and I also made some of the protein and. We were giving away big plates, just everyone take a big plate of leftovers home because there was too much. Well, we didn't even get rid of that much. I mean, we got rid of a lot, but what we have in our fridge, I mean, we still have basically we've gotten it down to one massive casserole dish with still a bunch of stuff on it. I had to get creative, man. I've been perpetually bloated now for like 3 days. I have been eating, it's just carb heavy. It's gravy on excuses to just put up gravy on everything. I have been extremely just bloated from this whole ordeal, and I want to know what you think about this because I was brainstorming yesterday. How can you get rid of leftovers without just eating them? Kind of my partner's dad actually suggested you could make a scramble. If you consume eggs, you could make, maybe a little Thanksgiving scramble. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. This is what I ended up doing with a good portion last night. So are you a fan of Mexican food, like tacos and stuff?
Oh, I love Mexican food.
Okay.
Oh man, Thanksgiving taco.
So this is what I did. I got our biggest cutting board out and I took a heaping square of stuffing, a heaping amount of mashed potatoes and gravy. And I basically chopped, mushed, put in a bowl, made basically like a mixture out of that. And then I got about 10 corn tortillas and I just filled them with that. And then I fried the tacos.
Okay.
And it sounds like, think of what you will of it, but I came away from that meal last night and I was like, I think I did something here. I think that this is almost going to be maybe a tradition going forward. Leftover tacos.
Yeah, I mean, did you have any protein in there?
Yes. Oh, yeah. I did put a little protein in there. Okay. So I chopped up some of the field roast, the vegan turkey.
Yeah. Okay.
And I actually heated up some gravy and I was dipping the fried tacos in some warm gravy. Good. So, I mean, dude, I deleted about 6 of those last night and saved 4 for my partner. And I went to bed it put you to sleep, man. Just the fried oil, like all that.
Eating the same thing like as leftovers, eventually you're gonna I need something. I need to get something else. Like
mix it up.
Even if it's the same food, I gotta find a different vehicle for getting it into my body. So yeah, I mean, I the taco idea is very good. The breakfast scramble type idea is a very intriguing idea. That, or you could use if you didn't have mashed potatoes, you could throw in some hash browns. If you didn't have mashed potatoes, you could throw in the hash browns as like a scramble. But yeah, if you could have some kind of scramble would be a good idea. But the tacos, like wrapping them up in and frying them in a burrito shell, that would be a good way to mix it up so you don't have to feel like you're just redundantly eating the same exact meal every time you sit down.
Yeah, you're basically just putting your leftovers in a corn shell and you're frying it, and everything tastes better fried. So that's what we ended up doing, man. And we still got some to get through here, which is, we'll get through it. Maybe maybe by Christmas, we'll get through with these. But anyways, man, yes, sounds like your Thanksgiving was a success, which is awesome. And ours was certainly a success. Still trying to I'm gonna need to like go on like a fast or something after this, because every time I go in the fridge, it's like there's just a green light. You're like, well, this stuffing's not going to eat itself. I'll just little one-timers here and there. A little plate here.
You don't want to waste it.
No, I mean, we still got probably 2 pounds of mashed potatoes left. So anyways, man, Thanksgiving, it's a hell of a holiday, dude. We watch football. I don't watch a ton of football, but it's nice to just have it on in the background. We were drinking beers. We were drinking cocktails. It was just it's a great time. So that's how it was out here, man. Any other fun details you want to throw in there from your Thanksgiving?
No, I mean, it was pretty much, other than that, standard Thanksgiving. Like I said, lots of food, lots of family, football, all just a traditional Thanksgiving type atmosphere. And
we like that here at the Skating Penguin Network. We're traditionalists. We like traditional.
We like tradition, and it was a good Thanksgiving. That's all there is to really say about it. I mean, it was a good time, good food. That's really what counts.
That is what counts. Family and full tummies.
Absolutely. So, to the hockey. Since we last talked, the Penguins have played 4 hockey games in that span. They are 3-1-0. So a positive little end of November, early December turnaround there. They start with this run here with Buffalo on Thanksgiving Eve. So we're going to a little before the holiday here. They take Buffalo in the annual Thanksgiving Eve game, and they get a 4-2 victory in this game. And after coming off 2 losses the weekend before, even though the one being in overtime, a nice little showing against Buffalo in this game. And it's just a great way to go into the holiday. I mean, you don't want to be miserable going into Thanksgiving. No. So this was just perfect. A nice little clean 4-2 win, get you in the win column before the holiday. And just a fun little game here to get you ready for the feast that's coming.
Yeah, known goal scorer Matt Dumba getting his first as a Penguin. I was when I saw the way that goal went in, I kind of had a little bit of an idea of how this game might go.
Yeah.
It was also weird. We forget, wasn't it a few years ago, Robbie? We were talking about what are we going to do with Jason Zucker? We have to re-sign him. He's such a spark plug for this team. Well, he's been gone for a while now, and I think he was in one of his first games of the season, maybe, or like he'd been injured for a while and he drew back into the lineup. It was weird to see him get on the score sheet there. You kind of forget, he was a part of the Penguins organization for what, like 4 years? 4 years?
Again, when they traded for him, I think they traded for him. Oh man, what year did he come?
They tried to trade Kessel for him, but Kessel didn't want to go to Minnie.
Yes, that is right. I forgot about that.
And then they ended up getting him for, I don't even remember. Was it Galchenyuk? Did they trade Galchenyuk for him?
Let's see when Jason Zucker came to Pittsburgh. Zucker came to Pittsburgh he came the same year that Patrick Marleau came. He was a part of the trade, right?
He was here when Patrick Marleau was here?
Yeah, because he came in 2020. He came.
Patrick Marleau was a Penguin. That's a trivia question.
Okay, he was traded on February 10th, 2020. He came right before they shut everything down for COVID. He was traded to Pittsburgh for Kalen Addison, Alex Galchenyuk, and a first-round draft pick who turned into Carson Lambos in 2021. So he came right before they shut the whole thing down. about a month later. So he was there for the bubble, and then he was with Pittsburgh until they traded him. Or did they trade? Let me see where his transaction is. And
they just didn't re-sign him, wasn't it?
No, yeah, he was in Pittsburgh until July of 23. He signed with the free agent with the Minnesota Wild, which is where he came from. And then he was traded by the Coyotes. He then ended up in the Coyotes, with the Coyotes, and then he is now in Buffalo.
Oh, that's right. He was with the Coyotes for a bit there.
Yep.
Wild.
Yeah, crazy. It's crazy.
God, that's so long ago now. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been it's just like his kind of career, like you said, we were so like, well, they have to re-sign him. Like he scored that, he had that 30-goal season or 27 goals in that final year in Pittsburgh. We thought that like that was going, and he got traded to Nashville at one point too.
No way. I can't even. I remember arguing with Garrett on here. I remember arguing with him. He was like, you have to re-sign Zucker. And I said I would only re-sign him if it was for low money and he was a third liner. And Garrett was like, no, he's a top line player. You can't, this team is never going to win again without. I remember we were on here battling over him. And I said, no, he's too injury prone, low money, third. He's a great third liner. And I don't even know what he is right now on any of these other teams. But I just remember probably my first year on here with you guys, that was like a contentious point between me and old Garrett.
Yeah, that was kind of a contentious point throughout like the Penguins fan base. Like it was a contract year. It's the first time he'd really been healthy in quite a few years. Like he
injury prone guy.
He played 78 games that year, scored 27 goals. And we were all like, well, you gotta re-sign him. Like you have to. And then that's when they tried the Riley Smith experiment.
Oh my God.
Yeah, which didn't work out. So yeah, things again, everything with the Penguins is just like at that point, they were basically grasping for straws to remain somewhat relevant at that point.
That's good point there.
And that this was on the down. This was in the
who was Jamie McGinn's brother they tried for a while? Remember they did Tanev and Jamie McGinn had his younger is it Brock McGinn?
Yeah, Brock McGinn. Yeah.
I don't think he's even in the NHL anymore.
He might be overseas now. But no, they tried Brock McGinn for like 3/4 of a year, and then they ended up trading him somewhere.
Is it the Ducks or something?
Again, this is all Ron Hextall here. Like this is all you have to remember what
throwing spaghetti at the wall, man. It was that's what it was.
And like Zucker was a good player. Like that is what he was, but he was a replaceable player.
That's right. And then was that the same year they tried the Granlund deal? Or was that a year later?
Mikael Granlund?
Yeah.
That was
that was a Hextall trade. I remember that for sure.
It was his big move.
It was his big trade deadline move.
Yeah, that was he came over the same time as him and Zucker were free agents together then. He came over that he had Zucker's contract in Pittsburgh. Just a forgettable time, I guess you could say.
That whole tenure of him is Pittsburgh Penguins player trivia questions. Remember we had Jan Ruda and we had Mikael Granlund, and there was
there's a lot of guys you're gonna remember in like
a lot of random players.
Like,
they traded for that Nathan Beaulieu who never even played a game. He was a first rounder by the Habs at one point. He was a tough defenseman.
Who was that monster defenseman they traded for from like Vancouver or something like that?
Eric Gabranson?
No. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was. Maybe it was.
Was it Kolyachonok?
No, he was a waiver wire.
Oh, that's right.
Let's see if I can find a name here. Massive
defenseman.
He was a fighter. He couldn't do anything else besides fight.
I keep thinking of Eric Gabranson, but that was a lot longer. I remember Eric Gabranson.
Oh, Vincent Descharnais.
Oh yeah, Vinny Descharnais. That guy barely could play hockey, dude.
Yeah,
that guy. I mean, he played more pro games than I'll ever play. I'll give him that. But I mean, that guy.
Vinny Descharnais was actually last season. Believe
That
it or
was
not.
already a year ago. Was that with like Pedersen or something? Was that a part of the Pedersen
I think
dealers?
he may have come in the Pedersen trade. Yes.
Poor Vinny DiGiornay. I would bet that hasn't sniffed an NHL game since last year.
He has played. Oh, actually, he's played 20 games this season in San Jose.
For San Jose?
Yeah.
Well, they're kind of, they're picking guys off the scrap heap. They need to hit the cap floor. So
he was traded to the Penguins with Danton Heinen and Melbourne's bench. Wait, the first round draft pick. Okay, yeah. Okay, he was a part of the Marcus Pedersen trade, and then about a month later, they flipped him to San Jose.
Wonderful. Well, yeah,
that
guy was I felt bad for him. There was some games of watching him, and I was like, that guy can barely cross over going another way. So, looking back, that's some dark times. Those players coming in and out for a little while there. Just, the McGinns. Tanev was a spark plug. We needed a guy like that guy, man. That was back a little bit that's a little further back, but yeah, man. I was actually Brian DM'd me the other day, good old Brian, and there was a point made that they were trying so hard to fill that hole from Hornquist, man. They've never found a player that could fill that role. Basically, it's just been Sid.
Yeah, they have not really found the guy to replace Hornquist. It kind of was like they took forever. They took years to try to find the Ryan Malone replacement. They were never really able to find him until, I mean, some guys were like good for a little flash in the pan kind of thing. But I mean, Hornquist and Ryan Malone, not the exact same player, but cut from the same cloth, kind of.
Sure.
And again, and I think the problem with trying to find a guy like that is they just don't grow on trees. Like they're kind of like a Crosby. Like you're not going to just find a Crosby out of nowhere. You're just not going to find a Hornquist. You can get guys that can do like 60% Hornquist impression, but it's really hard to find a guy that's like a carbon copy of what Hornquist does because they just don't. Guys aren't built like that. You have to be a special breed of player to do that, and very few are. And everybody's trying to find that guy, but it's not easy.
No, here's a name for you. I remember when Zach Aston Reese made his NHL debut with the Penguins.
Yeah,
Zach Aston Reese I think he's still playing. He plays for the Columbus Blue Jackets, but they said he was Hornquist 2.0.
They thought Michael Bunting was going to be Hornquist 2.0.
He was closer than Zach Aston Reese ever was to that.
Yeah,
I mean,
where's Michael Bunting at these years?
Bunting is in Nashville.
That's right, he's in Nashville.
Yeah, I think he was a part of the trade for Tomasino, wasn't he?
Yeah,
was it Tomasino or Novak? Maybe
it might have been Novak. Let me see here.
No, because Tomasino was a waiver pickup, I think, and then Novak was.
No, he was Novak. Yep, he was March of last year. He was Tommy Novak. Yep,
he was closer than Hornquist ever was.
Yeah, I really thought Bunting was going to have the it factor to stay around.
It fell off for him tough, man.
Never worked. He could never kind of recapture that magic he had in Toronto whatsoever. But yeah, it's really hard to find. Like guys like Hornquist don't just grow on trees. You can't just they're not a dime a dozen type player. They are very difficult to find, and it's just going to get it's just going to be very difficult to find that kind of dude, and that's just how it is.
That's just how it is, man. But yeah, dude, the Penguins definitely, back to the game we were covering. I mean, the Penguins, they do what they got to do and they get 2 points. And that's what I think you were saying before we hopped off for the holiday. Like they needed to take did you say they needed to go? I think we weren't talking about this fourth game, but you were like, they needed to win out all three of these games in some fashion or get points in all three games for this to be a successful little trip here. And what did they, including today, they're 3-1?
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit lifelock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
Thursday Night Football is on, and it's only on Prime Video.
Wide open, touchdown.
This week, the Dallas Cowboys and Detroit Lions face off in a high-octane clash.
Look at this, it's on the money.
Coverage begins at 7 p.m. Eastern with football's best party. TNF Tonight, presented by Verizon. Not a Prime member? Not a problem. Simply sign up for a 30-day free trial. It's the Cowboys and Lions, Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern, only on Prime Video. Restrictions apply. See Amazon.com/Amazon Prime for details.
Here's my 30-second story with Guinness. As soon as my sister and I get home for the holidays, we don't even unpack. We head straight to our pub. The bartender already knows our order, Guinness and fries. We laugh all night, catch up with old friends, and walk home with faces sore from smiling. It's one of my favorite nights of the year. That was my 30-second story with Guinness.
Guinness Draft Stout. Please enjoy responsibly. Imported by Diageo Beer Company, USA, New York, New York.
This episode is presented by State Farm. Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing the protection of an offensive guard on the football field, but getting an elementary school crossing guard. Sure, they're both guards, but you can only trust one to keep your quarterback safe when the game is on the line. So don't settle for just any insurance when there's State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Yeah, they went 3-1. Yeah, they went 3-1 on this stretch of games here. They opened with a win against Buffalo, and then a very, very nice come from behind win against Columbus. Down 3-1 going to the third. They tied up, and then bless finally they get an overtime win. Don't have to go to a shootout or anything.
Tanger.
Yeah, great. Just Tommy Novak has been very good. He sets up the game winner here. A very good game, a very good comeback from the Penguins. It didn't look great through 40 minutes, but they buckled down. And then they return home the next night and get blown out by the Leafs. And every writer in Toronto,
I was screaming that game, dude. I could not wait for this game. I sat down with a couple cold beverages, and I was just like, please hand it to the Leafs. And I was having some temper tantrum type reactions to that game, man. I cannot stand when the Leafs are beating up on the Penguins, man. Because you know what it is? It's because I know that the next week I'm just going to be reading headlines from Toronto media writers talking about, all of a sudden they're going to be like, well, what are we doing with Crosby or something like that? And it's, you know how it is. So they got their doors blown off by Toronto.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happened. Toronto won that game, and for the second time this season, after beating the Penguins, every media head in Toronto was talking about how the Leafs are finally turning a corner. They're going to use this as a
turning point. Yeah,
and no, hopefully not. But the Penguins do get their doors blown off against Toronto. But the big one here is the nice win against Columbus, the comeback on the road. They've been fairly decent against divisional opponents this year,
which is good. Last year they were abysmal.
A marked improvement over. I'm just looking here real quick, and if I'm doing my math correctly, they've gotten a point in every game except one against the divisional opponent so far. This season, the only one they didn't was the loss to the Rangers all the way back the third game of the season. Now they haven't played a ton of division games, but they've gained points in at least every one they've played, which again is a huge improvement over where they were the last few years, where they were just dreadful against the Metro Division. So
that's right.
So yeah. And that will bring us to tonight. The Penguins, after a split over the weekend, Thanksgiving weekend, they opened December across the state in Philadelphia, and this one got a little chippier than what we've seen from Flyers Penguins games.
I loved it. I love this game, Robbie. Coming off that game against the Leafs. Before we get into the game quickly, I want to just jump in and I'm going to interject here. I thought that the changes to the lineup, this is the lineup I want going forward. This is the lineup that I want. I want Amama in the lineup. I know he was injured and he's been kind of getting his bearings back, playing in Wilkes-Barre. Had an amazing was that a penalty shot that he got that he buried backhand?
Yeah, that was a penalty shot in Wilkes-Barre. That was, I think, that was an opening goal too, or last weekend. Just he even said, he's like, I don't get this opportunity very often, so I'm going to try something. And
that's why I love that.
And again, very, very slick move.
Confident too, he's done it 100 times.
Yeah, which maybe he does that in the shootouts in practice, just something crazy. And he pulled that off, and the goal. I think the goalie was completely stunned because you don't expect that out of you don't expect that out of almost anyone, let alone Boku Amama. But again, we saw last year when he scored his goal with the Penguins last year.
That was
a nice little
snipe.
Like he has that little bit of scoring touch, which a lot of those enforcer types have never really had. But again, like, to be an enforcer in the NHL today, you have to be able to have some kind of skill set, because it's not the days of yore where you could just go out there and beat somebody's face and skate around like a George Laraque. Like, you have to be able to have some skill on your stick. And hey, they called Boko up for this one. I thought he said after the game that he challenged Garnet Hathaway to multiple fights, and Hathaway said no each time. So
he doesn't want none. I mean, Garnet Hathaway will fight when he has to. But I don't think he wants any from Boko, who's like, I don't know. When you've got a fighter like Boko frothing at the mouth begging you, I would steer clear also, probably. But yeah, man. This is the lineup that the Penguins, that fourth line, they need a guy like Boko who can hit. And I mean, he had a great game, dude. Like, he had one play earlier on in the game, and it stuck out to me, and it sticks out more because they highlighted it on the broadcast, that Boko was holding on to pucks down low, shielding the puck, and it allowed Sid and Russ to hop on, and he was playing with them for a minute, and they had a couple of good chances on it. I mean, I like this. And they also gave us, for the first time this year, basically the kid line.
Yeah, Rocco McGrory makes his NHL debut, season debut.
He's been lighting it up.
Yeah, lighting it up. They couldn't ignore it anymore. But we do get the kid line of Ben Kindle, Rocco McGrory, and Ville Koivunen, and that line just caved in the Flyers. They didn't get a goal, but they caved in the Flyers all night. Which is, you love to see it. I mean, the kids are here. And somebody pointed out on Twitter, like, the Penguins, the older guys respond to the kids being in the lineup. And they respond.
It's no secret, man. It happens with every team.
The power play scores 3 of the 5 goals tonight. It's second best in the league right now still. But one player that has really been the guy recently when he's been on the ice, it's been Tristan Jarry. He came back from injury. Maybe he's just pumping up the trade value to fleece Edmonton or what. But man,
oh boy,
he's been playing good hockey, and he was good again this evening. Wasn't a huge rush from the Flyers, but they still got 29 shots on goal. He stopped 28 of them. Just another good showing from Jarry tonight.
I mean, they are on the Philadelphia had 6 power plays, Robbie.
Yeah, penalty kill is good too.
I think one of them, if not 2 of them, were a 2-man advantage. It's like they were getting their shots in on him.
Yeah, they had one. Well, they had like 2 straight minutes of 2-man advantage there for a while. Like, they had there was 3 straight Penguins penalties that were basically 2 full minutes of 5-on-3. And the Penguins, they scored twice in those. They scored 3 of their 5 on the power play. Didn't allow Philly. The Flyers did get 1. Their only goal came on the power play. Tyson Forrester scored to tie it up in the second period. But after that, Penguins just fully controlled this game. They even had a goal taken off the board by Evgeny Malkin.
Oh, the goalie interference one.
Yeah, I didn't like that call, and not even saying that as a biased Penguin fan. I just think, man, if we're going to call it that soft, we're doing something wrong. That I don't like the call.
I don't either. And that I don't know about you, but my broadcast, because out here I don't have like the local network to just tune into. I have to listen to the NHL Network's broadcast, and it was Brian Boucher, the former Flyers goalie, and he was adamant. He's like, "Oh, that's goalie interference every day of the week," and I was like, "Is it though?"
He's also a goalie. He's going to say that.
But I was also kind of like, "Is that though?" Like I've seen the Penguins earlier in the season. There was a couple of goalie interference goals that I was like, I don't know. It's one of those things. We'll complain about it probably no matter what. Even when the Penguins get one their way, sometimes I go, Robbie, I think I was the only one watching the game that thought that was goalie interference. There's no way that that's going to count, but it goes for the Penguins. I don't know if they'll ever get this whole thing figured out, but I thought that was soft, man. That wasn't interference. Like, but whatever. They waxed it. They waxed it.
I mean, they wiped it off. They shook it off. It was already 3-1 at that point. That's kind of one of those that, like, if the goal would get wiped out, but you give one right back, it could get a little iffy. But they didn't. Tristan Jarry stands tall. The defense keeps it pretty solid the rest of the way. And then the Penguins actually add 2 after that. Tommy Novak gets a goal in the power play, and then Kevin Hayes buries a breakaway past Dan Vladar to put the coffin on the ground here. But
they did.
Yeah, Crosby, again, they boo him every time he touches the puck. He just goes out and scores 2. Just routine at this point when he's in Philadelphia.
Is he going to score 50 this year?
He's at what, 18?
Yeah.
Yeah, boy, he's going to be, man, a chase for 50 this year would be pretty freaking impressive for.
Could you imagine it's like him and Nate McKinnon 1 and 2 for the Rocket?
That would be, yeah. You notice how the Penguins are playing good now, and all of a sudden you don't hear anything about Crosby being traded to Colorado.
And because there's no Canadian teams really that are making a case for themselves, so everyone better just keep their mouth shut up there for God. Give us a few months.
Yeah,
the trade deadline is still 4 months away. Like,
could you imagine him and McKinnon going toe to toe for 9 months on winning the Rocket? That would be.
Give me that.
Could you imagine the takes on that? That would be high entertainment. Those two going back to back all season long.
It'd be good if it was just a good old race for like the Rocket or something like that. And we're, it's so early still. Yeah, Sid's having an unreal season. He's scoring at an even for him quite a pace. He's only scored 50 once in his career.
Goals. Yes.
I think it was 50 once.
He has 2 Rockets, but only once did he hit 50.
Once he hit 50. So, yeah, man, like it would just be a good old fashioned fun race. And as long as Canada could keep their greasy mitts out of the business of him, get him to Colorado. He needs, like, it's just like, can we just enjoy it for what it is? Penguins fans this year, we're enjoying a bounce back season. We've got some youth coming up. And it's just a good hockey season. Can Canada just keep their mitts off of the headlines and just let the Penguins be? I don't think they can. But none of their teams really are making a case for the Stanley Cup this year.
No.
Yet alone playoffs. I mean, so if I were them, I would choose words carefully.
And with those 2 goals, he is now within 7 points of tying Mario Lemieux for the most in Penguins history and 8th all time.
He's going to get that before Christmas.
Oh my gosh, he might get that before.
He might get that by the end of next week.
It would. I mean, after they play Tampa Bay and Dallas to round out this road trip, they have 5 in a row at home. So you have to think that he would do it back home, which would be absolutely fantastic.
Do they play the Flyers perchance before then? Because he just seems to just rack.
No,
I mean,
they have Tampa
he owns
Bay,
that team, man.
Tampa Bay, Dallas, and then Anaheim, Montreal, San Jose, Utah, and
he's gonna get it, dude. San Jose, the Habs aren't really doing. They're not great right now. Anaheim is a complete wagon. They are not the Anaheim of the last couple of years. He might get it in the next 7 within the next few games.
He could easily, very easily. I mean, the way he's playing right now, he could easily by next Tuesday, when they're back home, have it done. The way he's been playing hockey right now, but you have to think that by this time next week, he will be the Penguins' all-time leading points getter, which is a phenomenal. Again, he's exceeded every possible expectation. He completely just clowns on the Flyers anytime he plays them.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous at this point what he keeps doing. There's not really any adjectives really to describe it, but he wants to be in the playoffs. He wants to be playing hockey that matters, and he's playing like that right now.
Oh, big time, man. And you see, I want to go, I'll get off the lineup, after this sentiment, but I just feel like, dude, I'm sorry, but the Danton Heinens and, Kevin Hayes hasn't looked bad up on that first line with Rust and Sid. I know that that's not a long-term deal. He has one bad game. They'll try something else in a heartbeat, but I like the kid line, man. McGroarty, Kindle, and was it Novak on that line too?
No, Koivunen.
Oh, Koivunen. I would like to see Bros get a chance there. They gave us a little taste. He looked a little bit overwhelmed that game. We didn't really talk about that. The game that he got in there, he didn't. Oh, yeah. He looked pretty overwhelmed. Yeah. He had a couple turn. You could just tell. I mean, it's his first NHL game, but I think there's some promise with that Bros kid. But yeah, give me the kid line and let the veterans have their first two lines. Let Sid and Gino run their own line. Mantha's good. Novak's good. Rust is unreal right now. He's really come back with a vengeance. Yeah. He got off the shit a few games ago. Yeah, he had a snipe tonight. Let Hazy take that first line left wing role. And then that fourth line with Lizotte, I don't know, the Kopanen experiment. I just, for a fourth liner, he's a little bit vanilla for me. I liked the look that they had tonight with Lizotte, Dewar, and Boko, who adds. I mean, dude, when you have that element of Boko on there, and I've been saying this for so long, Robbie, but when you have that factor of a guy like Boko out there who can run around a bit, who can really put you through the boards, and is not afraid to make a big hit, and he'll drop the gloves if he has to, other teams start to pay attention and they go, oh shit, he's on the ice. Or they're looking around and they're like, oh, he's coming over the boards. Everyone heads up. Just having that extra element, dude. Every time the Penguins have been dominant or had those runs of good seasons, they've always had a player like him. And I just don't know. They've gotten away from it for so long under Sullivan. And now it's give Boko some. I mean, if Boko can add a little, hanging on to pucks down low and getting an assist here and there, if he can get to put in a goal here or there, keep him in the lineup, because that fourth line, they've needed that extra element, especially with Achari out, who can hit, and he can kind of provide that same thing. He's been really good at that over the course of his career. Well, with Achari still out and not knowing really when he's going to come back, and we're still kind of waiting for Brazeau to get back, let Boko cook, man. Let this current lineup cook. The kids too.
Yeah, I definitely think the kids are pretty much here to stay for the most part. It'll be interesting to see what they do with the vets as the season goes along. Bros, I think, will be up at some point.
Did he go back down?
Yeah, he had to go back down for the McGroarty transaction.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think he'll be back up, though.
McGroarty looked unreal tonight, too. He almost had one on the door there. He was banging away at Vladar. I'm excited for that kid, man.
McGroarty could take a quasi-Hornquist role.
I kind of was thinking the same thing.
I think he has probably a better just pure shot than Hornquist did, but he's not afraid to be an annoyance down low. That's how he scored his first career goal last year. It's unfortunate he was injured all summer, but he came back. It wasn't ease him back into it. He just took off flying, picked up where he left off.
He had 4 goals in 5 games down in Wilkes?
Yeah, I think at one point he had 4 in a row at one point too.
Yeah. I think he went scoreless that last game.
Yeah. Yeah.
And tonight he didn't look overwhelmed at all by it,
No,
dude. Like he was in the mix. And yeah, we've forgotten that he's been their biggest prospect for like the last couple of years now. So
yeah,
he's back, man. And dude, I mean, would you be surprised? I mean, if they break up that kid line, which I'm sure they will. Like, I mean, it's not here to stay. Kindle sometimes gets looks up with Sid. I mean, McGroarty could be a first line player with Sid on that left side, man. Like, I mean, could he take? It's not going to be super hard for him to overtake a guy like Kevin Hayes for that spot.
Yeah, I think Hayes' time up there is incredibly limited. Because again, Justin Brazeau is skating, and you're going to put him right back in that top 6 based on how he was playing when he went down. So like Brazeau is going to get there, but eventually, as the season drags along, you're going to see these young guys kind of float to the top of this this lineup. You don't know what trades are going to happen at any point either. Like this is all like the trade talk is severely been very quiet all over just because the Penguins have been playing such good hockey. So it'll be interesting to see like what trades do get made, where guys end up kind of plugging in as the season progresses. But yeah, Kevin Hayes is not going to be a first line player for more than like 10
no, just like Dewar wasn't going to be a first liner.
No, like Dewar, like those guys are like if they're hot, you stick them up there until they cool down. Like you get while the stick is hot, get them as many quality opportunities as possible, and then when it's time, just swap them out from somewhere else. Dewar is going to have another stretch at some point where he scores like 3 goals in 6 games or something like that, and he's going to get another run somewhere. But again, they're not asking Connor Dewar to go out there and be a rocket shark contender.
No,
he plays so well. Like that fourth line, Lizotte is playing out of his mind right now.
He's so good.
Yeah, he's not a guy that shows up in the box score every night, but man, when you watch the game, he is everywhere. Yep. And what a pickup! And when we said when he signed last year, that was the big, that was one that was not talked about. And if the Penguins are going to be a team that makes some noise throughout the season, Lizotte's going to be a key part of that, even if he isn't showing up on the stat sheet every night, just because he makes life so much harder for the players that he goes up against, which makes life so much easier for the Penguins.
He's relentless is what he is.
He's
just got
relentless.
Just Energizer Bunny. Does his battery never seems to dwindle. I loved him as a player, man, or I love him as a player. And I remember hearing good things about him when he came over too. So he's that great, like current era fourth liner. Like it's no longer, the last, I think, fourth line that we can remember of the prototypical fourth line was the Islanders line where they had Matt Martin, Casey Cizikas, and Cal Clutterbuck, kind of that kind of line. I think that the Penguins kind of makeshift fourth line that they've got of Connor Dewar, Lizotte, and if they can keep Boko up there or whoever that's kind of the current era fourth line. You got to have speed, tenacity, forechecking. And if you got a guy that can punch a guy's head in, that's better. But you just know that guy's not in the lineup just because he can punch a guy's head in. It's because he can hold on to pucks and he can, wear down other teams. So I love the lineup, man. I can't get off that. Like tonight, the game went well, and I just liked what I saw out of every line. You can really roll 4 lines with the Penguins hadn't been able to do that successfully for so long now, and they're able to now. Every line kind of has a specialty and a threat, and it's refreshing to see.
Absolutely, 100% agree with that. They're playing. Dan Hughes has been pressing all the right buttons for the most part, getting Ben Kindle, managing those games where they can. Anthony Mantha, again, a lot of this falls on Kyle Dubas as well. Anthony Mantha has been fantastic. Tommy Novak has been really good. Not bailing on a guy like Kevin Hayes, having the faith of getting Ryan Graves in the lineup and putting him in the right positions to succeed as much as possible. Parker Wotherspoon has been one of the best defensemen in the NHL this season.
Yeah, where did that guy come out of nowhere? I mean, he's better than Pettersson was the last couple of years.
He just does the simple stuff. He's a poor man's Brian Dumoulin, basically. He just does the simple stuff. He had a pass tonight that sprung Kevin Hayes on his breakaway.
That was
about a
on a dime.
150-foot pass on the tape to
With
Hayes.
some zip.
Beautiful. Yeah, beautiful pass. Evgeny Malkin's energized. He had 2 assists tonight. And
Malkin wants another paycheck.
He does. Like he read the headlines of like, this is his last hurrah. He's going to go out, and he just has turned on the Jets this year. Rust, for as roller coaster his season has been, he's still producing. And this was without Ricard Raquel. This is without Justin Brazeau right now. These guys just keep going out there. The goalies have been solid. Erik Karlsson must have just absolutely hated playing for Mike Sullivan.
He did. I think I've heard some quotes that kind of hinted at that.
Yeah.
Did you read those? He's it's nice to have a coach that helps you do the things that you do know how to do and not the things you don't know how to do or something like that.
I mean, Dan Hughes has him out there killing penalties now. Like, I mean,
he's just finding ice time for him. He's like, you're our best defenseman. We need you to take up lots of minutes. And it's not so felt like with Sullivan, it was a juggling act with Karlsson and Letang. It was like there was no defined role. Letang is the second shot D-man. He is not being expected to do what Karlsson is to do because Karlsson is better skill set wise. I mean, you don't have that many Norrises for no reason. So I like what they've done with Karlsson, man. It's so nice to just be, and Karlsson's, he's definitely risen to the occasion too. I think against the Flyers the last time they played, he had a play that I had no idea what in God's name was going on with him. His controller died. Haven't seen much of that this season though.
Yeah. Erik Karlsson's been very, very solid defensively, and that helps his offensive game too. Like that absolutely frees him up to do more offensively. And no, Dan Hughes and Kyle Dubas. Dubas deserves a ton of credit. I mean, he's the one that hired Dan Hughes.
And we didn't see that one coming.
No, I mean the name kind of floated around at the very beginning of the coaching search, and now we end up with him as head coach, and everything is just moving apace right now. The staff is very good that they built around him, which I thought was the most important part. Nick Bonino can kind of connect with everybody because he's not really even. I mean, Nick Bonino's not really that old at all. Obviously, Todd Nelson, who we thought might have been a candidate for the head coaching position, has the power play clicking. Mike Suthers, it seems to be well respected, not just in the locker room, but around the league as well. But everything, again, we thought it was crazy they kept Andy Chiodo, and the goaltending, and the goaltending has been solid. Some blips here or there, but the goaltending is not far from perfect. But I think I read today that the combination the Penguins have run out this year, counting Sergei Mershov, has been the 12th best goaltending tandem in the league so far, which is way better than what we've seen in the past years. And right now it's clicking. They're in good position. They passed the Thanksgiving test. They were in a playoff position on Thanksgiving Day. I think like over 3/4 of teams that are in a playoff position on Thanksgiving Day do eventually make the playoffs. And hey, I'll take playoff hockey. I don't care. I'm spoiled. I'm spoiled. I'll freely admit that. It would be fantastic. It would certainly shut up a lot of the noise, and it would send expectations next season into the stratosphere.
Yeah, and we got to just take it 1 year at a time.
Yeah.
But I know how you feel. I'm spoiled too, Robbie. I think that, it's not like there are some organizations that have suffered, man. They have torn it down and torn it down again, and they still haven't seen a playoff game. So we've spent a couple of years suffering, and things are looking all right. And that's that's something on Thanksgiving you should be thinking about that, because that's something you got to be thankful for, that we are not arguing over. Is it Verhoff or Gavin McKenna that the Penguins will be picking? It's there could be some playoff hockey coming spring if they keep up this pace and momentum here. So man, it's been these last few games. Hey, I'll take it. They get blown out by the Leafs. Yeah, I got to sit. We got to chew on that one. But 3-1 over the last 4 games. Those 5-game increments. If you can just collect your points, Why? I mean, dude, they're rolling. It's better than expected. That's for sure. But it's not that it's like fluky stuff either. Like you see the vision on the ice. Like you see the youth coming through. Credit to Dubas. Sometimes I'm hesitant to give credit to any general manager because I don't know. Sometimes I think they're flipping coins up there when it comes to decisions. But credit to Dubas. These youth are looking good. Sidney Crosby. I mean, he's your captain. He's your leader. Yeah. That dude is unbelievable right now. What he's doing as just a hockey player at his age. So and Malkin, you mentioned it. Everyone's pulling on the rope right now, and you've got a lot of talent with a good staff that you brought up. I mean, yeah, dude, I didn't think that after Thanksgiving, when we started this season, I think I was kind of like, we'll see where they're at, man. But it's been entertaining to say the least.
It certainly has, and I saw tonight that Crosby is currently at his age on pace for a 39 goal or 59 goal season.
39 or 59 goals?
59. I misspoke. 59 goals at age 38.
Nice.
I mean, nothing else you can really say about what he's done. Again, it would be crazy to watch him and McKinnon battle all season. What they're doing out in Colorado is just absolutely phenomenal right now. But, yeah, if the Penguins get through this road trip, they have 5 in a row at home. And then, you have 5 in a row at home. You don't know where you're sitting at New Year's, but it's going to tell us a lot about where they're at because New Year's is roughly halfway. Enjoy it. It's been fun, and it's nice to be excited about the Penguins again.
Oh, that's for damn sure, Robbie. And dude, you know what? Yeah, the NHL, it's an interesting year in the NHL, man. The East, it's just so weird out in the East. There's only like one dominant team in the league right now, and it's Colorado. But dude, it's like only like a couple more months, and we got international hockey. Like we've got the Olympics, dude. They don't even have a rink to play in yet. Did you read that? There is no rink.
I did see that. Yeah, it'll be very.
Robbie, it takes a year and a half to build a house these days. Yeah. It feels like.
Yeah.
To put up, four walls and a roof. There is not a hockey rink in Milan.
No, yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens in these next few weeks. And somehow, when it comes to these events, they always somehow get it done. We'll see. We'll see.
Are you concerned?
I mean, they always figure something out. These things, they always figure something out in the end, whether it's getting the arena done or moving it to another location. They say there's no backup plan, but I do not believe the IOC would not have a backup plan.
Well, they're getting one together right now. I guarantee you that.
Yeah.
If you were on the committee and you flew over to Milan and you're like, yeah, let's go take a look at the facilities. Let's see how this is going. And you're like, let's see the ice rink. And they just show you a pile of dirt and they go, it's right there.
Yeah.
Where would your head be at as like a person with stake in the game?
I mean, if that were the case, I'd be like, I thought they'd be being pranked or something like that.
You're like, all right, where is it? And they're like,
really,
we've got one shovel in the ground right now.
Yep.
I don't know. Insane story, but like you said, they're going to get something together. And if they don't, the powers that be, if they don't have pull to be able to pull something off to find ice for these teams to play in, they'll get something figured out. But it's dicey, man. 2 months. Like if you paid to have your house built and you're supposed to be moved in by February, and you go to the site where you bought your property and they show you a pile of dirt with some 2x4s, you would be concerned.
You'd be very concerned.
Well,
all right,
we got a ways to go till that happens. But yeah, man, some exciting hockey over the last week or so. Thanksgiving sounds like it was a success on your end, a success over here. We hope everyone's Thanksgiving was a success for those that celebrate. But yeah, man, that's really all I got.
Yeah, so that's really all I have as well. The Penguins, they beat the Flyers 5-1, a big performance on the road to get this road trip started. The next game is Thursday night in Tampa So if everything goes according to plan, we'll be back after that one to talk that one. Hopefully another Penguins win. But as of now, Penguins sit in a playoff position. They have
wild
games
card.
Yeah, right now they're in a wild card, but they do have games in hand on Washington and New Jersey, who are both above them by a point or two. So yeah, some breathing room to work with, but again, you got to win those games in hand. That's the key point here. But the Penguins, they have a busy December, so let's hope they make it out of it in one piece, and we get some of these banged up bodies back. But that's really all I got. Now, if you have nothing else, he says thumbs up. We're gonna put a bow on this one. The Penguins beat the Flyers 5-1. They're 3-1 in their last 4 games. They are back in action on Thursday against Tampa, and we will be here after the game to talk about it and put a recap together for you. So for Snail, I'm Robbie. You guys have a great evening.